Okay, let's do some math for fun. And today I would like to talk about an interesting bad question. This question is actually bad, which that makes it interesting. And one more story that I want to say is that I once used this question to school somebody in the class. And I felt really good about this. And I just really like about this question because, as I said, it's a bad question, but it's also interesting at the same time. And I will talk about why. So this is a typical question. I got this question directly from the algebra textbook. This is exactly how the question was worded in the book. So let's take a look. It says that a plane can travel 800 miles with the wind and then 650 miles back against the wind in 5 hours. If the wind blows at 30 miles per hour, what is the speed of the plane? Okay, so it's a typical speed times time is equal to distance question. And let me just draw some pictures to illustrate the situation. First, we have an airplane. So let me draw my plane first. And I'm going to draw it like this. So let's say the plane is going that way. Right, that way. So that's my airplane. And he says that what is the speed of the plane, right? So that's something that we don't know. I don't know how fast this plane is going. So I'm going to say that I'm going to use a variable. Let me use P for plane. So let me say this is P mile per hour. The first situation is the plane can travel 800 miles with the wind. So we have the wind as well. And the wind is actually in the back pushing the plane. So this is my wind. And we do know the wind is blowing at 30 miles per hour, right? So this is 30 miles per hour. Okay, so that's the situation. The plane is going this way, and then the wind is also pushing the back. They are going the same direction. So the rate, which is the speed, let me write it as speed times time, is equal to distance. Right, this is a typical speed times time is equal to distance question. And that's my first situation. And let's think about when you have a plane that's going this way and then the wind is pushing the plane in the back. They are going faster, right? And how fast is it? Together, the plane is already going at P mile per hour, and then the wind is helping the plane to go faster, 30 mile per hour faster. So overall, the speed right here, when they are going this direction, the speed is P plus 30. Okay, and let's see. It doesn't tell us how much time did they spend on this trip. We don't know, so let me leave it as a blank for now. Distance, they travel 800 miles. So let me put down 800 right there. Okay, and then the second situation is that 650 miles back against the wind. So this is my airplane, and then now I'm turning my airplane backwards, so just like this. Still P mile per hour, and the wind still blowing at this direction. Still 30 miles per hour. And let's think about it. The plane is going this direction, but the wind, since the wind's going this way, right? The wind is going the opposite direction. So the plane is actually going at a slower rate, slower speed, right? Because the wind in this situation here, it's not helping it. The wind is actually reducing the speed for the overall airplane that's traveling. So right here, the speed is actually P, and we need to take away 30. Unfortunately, the wind is not helping us. It's making us going slower. Do we know the time? It says back against the wind in 5 hours. However, I realized when they say back against the wind in 5 hours, this means I realized that they actually mean in a total of 5 hours. So this is not actually the 5 that goes in here. That's why I said this question is kind of bad in the wording, because yeah, it's really confusing. The 5 actually means the total. They should have the word total, the total of. Okay? But however, that's exactly how the question was worded. I'll show you guys a picture at the end of the video. You guys will see it. I'm not going to put a 5 right here because that's the total. It's not just for this trip. I do know the distance though, which is 650. Okay, so now how do we find out the time? How do we find out the time for each place, each box right here? Let me make some note right here. We know speed times time is equal to distance. S times time is equal to distance, right? And to solve for time, we want to get time by itself. We can just divide both sides by the speed. So cancel, and then I get time is equal to d over s. In another word, to figure out time, we can just do whatever the distance that we have, divide by p plus 30, the speed. So that's the time for this direction. 800 over p plus 30. Similarly, for this box, I just need 650 for the distance over p minus 30 for the time. For the speed. Okay, and then now this is a place where we're going to use the total of 5 hours. That's 5 hours. So we're going to look at this. Since this represents the time that the plane is going in this trip, and then this represents the time that the plane is going the opposite trip, altogether, when you add up this, they have to be equal to 5. They have to be equal to 5. And that's how you can set up the equation for this question. 800 over p plus 30, and then I need to plus 650 over p minus 30, and that's equal to 5. This is exactly how the book wants us to solve it. Set up the chart, and if you want to draw the pictures, that's fine, but you want to set up this equation and then solve it. And just for some practice, let me do this the book's method, the book's way. Okay, so just need to solve this equation, this rational equation. The key to solve this is to determine what the LCD is first. Lowest common multiple of the denominator, which I just need p plus 30 times p minus 30. And once we have the lowest common denominator, I need to multiply everything by this. So p plus 30, p minus 30, p plus 30, p minus 30. And that's why earlier I left like a big gap in here because I want to put this right here. And then 5 also p plus 30, p minus 30. And let me just solve this question completely, and then I'll probably do it like faster. So first of all, right here, p plus 30, p plus 30, they cancel out. So technically, I just have 800 times p minus 30 plus, in this case, p minus 30 cancels out, and I will have 650 times p plus 30. And that's equal to, and I need to do 5 times p plus 30 times p minus 30, right? I think it's easier if I just multiply these two first, because then I will have 5. These two multiply, I get p squared minus 30 squared, right? Because that's a difference of 2 squares. Then you can also write this as p squared minus 900. Right, anyways. Alright, 800 times p is 800p. 800 times 30 is minus 24 with 30 in the back. 650 times p is plus 650p, and then 650 times 30, I get 195 with 20 in the back. That's equal to 5 times p squared, which is 5p squared. 5 times this is equal to 900. This is equal to 900. So 5 times 900, I get 45 with 20 in the back, minus 4500. Okay, and then collect like terms, right? I see the p right here. So 800 plus 650p is 1450p, and then we can do it with the numbers. So right here, negative 24,000 plus 19,500. Let me see, this should be minus. I have a 0, 0, and I shall have a 5, but it's a 3, so I shall have a 4,500. Alright, and then that's equal to 5p squared minus 4,500. I want to, because right here we have something to the second power, right? This is a quadratic equation. I need to make one side equal to 0 and then do all that. Since the p squared is right here, the 5p squared is right here, I want to move this to the right hand side. So let me write this as minus 1450p and then plus 4500. I think I missed a 0, let me see. Never mind. Yeah, so I need to subtract 1450p and then I need to add 4500 on both sides. Do this too on both sides. And then what do I get? That's 0, that's 0. So I get 0 equals to, oops, sorry, 5p squared. And then this is by itself, so let me write it down. It's minus 1450p. And the negative 4,500 plus 4,500 cancels out. So I just need to solve for this. And to solve for this, I can just write it as 5. I can factor out 5p first. So I get p minus, that's 290. It's equal to 0. And let me see, let me get a piece of paper. So continue. So to continue this, I just need to set each factor to 0. So let me write this as, I need to set 5p equals to 0, or the second factor, p minus 290 equals to 0. For the first one, I get, after you divide both sides by 5, you get p is equal to 0. Which doesn't make sense. You cannot have an airplane that's going at 0 miles per hour. So this doesn't make sense, then cross the hour already. And for this one, I need to add 290 on both sides. And I get p is equal to 290. So what we're saying is, okay, I got my answer. The plane is traveling at 290 miles per hour. And that's exactly how the book wants to do it. So all this is exactly how the book wants to do it. Okay? So I think you should agree with all my calculations. I think I didn't do anything wrong.